Welcome to season 2 of 101 with Sylvia the Siren.
It's SOTO619 and you're listening to Sylvia the Siren.
SOTO619. Thank you so much for coming on 101 with Sylvia the Siren. How you been?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well. How are you?
Absolutely. I'm doing good. So before we get into 101, I just wanted to let you know that just a background story on how we connected. We connected through Lewis, which is Key's father. And I kind of got to see like your Instagram and all your work. And I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm very impressed. He put us on a video call and like it's been up ever since. And yeah, you stand out as a creator with you
Thank you.
being, yeah, you stand out very well. And before we get into the interview, the first icebreaker question I always have to ask any creator that comes on with me is, how has your mental been?
My mental health has been better.
Mhm.
Just went to therapy today, probably like an hour ago. So I would say, yeah, definitely better. But yeah, we go through any roadblocks and ups and downs. And I love that you're asking this question because at the end of my videos, I always say thank you for being here and thank you for following. I'll see you on the next one. And that's me just paying homage and tribute to those with mental health and just
Mhm.
me pushing that, like, you know what, I appreciate you for being here, not only just watching this video or whatever content that I put out, but thanks for being here on this earth another day, another minute, another hour. And yeah, so I appreciate it.
Awesome. Same here. Been a mental health advocate for very long, me and my husband. So that's one of the main questions I have to ask because I came from radio, and one of the biggest things that is not talked about in media, journalism, and in radio is mental health. So, I suffered a lot from mental health with being in radio, and I had to keep it hidden. So I pride myself once I started my own platform to be able to, make sure everybody's mental is good, because with this creator world, it's getting insane.
Absolutely.
It's getting insane. Not only that, it's getting tough, it's getting hard. So I know everybody is just really trying to make it when it comes to this content creator world and media. So I just try to make sure like I check everybody's mental before we get into like, the questions and everything. But thank you for telling me that. Now I know. So when I go tap into your videos, I'm gonna be like, oh snap, because I always tap into your videos, I always tap into your
Thank you.
live reactions. I know I asked you questions. Like there was a specific question I randomly hit you up on in the DM about the neon situation with Penta. Remember
Oh yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just because I saw a lot of discourse online, and I was like, you know what? Let me go to the right source that I know who tackles Lucha Libre, AAA on a daily basis. Let me get your opinion and thoughts because of the history behind the mask. So, thank you for responding to me because yeah, I was just like, people were like, well, he's streaming, he's doing what he's supposed to do, but I just was like, no. I thought it was mad disrespectful, but yeah, but I could understand what you told me. You were saying that he shouldn't have been back there either way. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it would have been, it wasn't the place to be streaming in, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Backstage for anything really. I mean, I go to lucha shows like you said, and I'm
Yeah.
backstage with the guys, you know what I mean? And I never record content back there, right? And that's, I might take pictures back there, but we make sure that there's no one else around, no one else unmasked. And I definitely ask for permission before doing
Yeah.
so. So yeah, don't think it was the right place or the right time, but it's out there. It is what it is. Can't do anything
It,
about it, right? You just got to
that
move on with any mental health. You just move on.
that's true because it's funny because he's still in the cut with a lot of the superstars because I thought he was going to be officially banned, but apparently not because he's just was recently with Tiffany Stratton.
You mean
Yeah.
Jessica?
Huh?
You mean
No,
Jessica?
Neon.
No,
Neon
no,
was
no. I
oh.
know. Tiffany Stratton's real name is Jessica.
Oh, that's her real name, Jessica? I
Yeah. So
never
yeah, it was just
I
a joke.
never I never knew that. I never knew her name was Jessica. Yeah, that was weird. I saw matter of fact, hubby showed me a clip of it and I was just laughing. I was like, yo, she's insane.
I mean, she's in the business for views too, right?
Yeah, she is.
You know?
Speaking of her, I'm gonna ask this question before I get into my first question. Could
Okay.
you actually see her on going to AAA? Could you actually see her doing that style?
Um, I mean, she has a little bit of a high flyer in her. We just saw Bailey there.
Yeah.
I I could see a match. Definitely, I could see a match, but she's not like one of the first or second or in the top 5 that I would see jump over there. I'd probably see maybe Lyra Valkyria first. Jump over there. She's a good high
Oh
flyer.
yeah.
Soruka would probably be another one that I'd name to jump over there and do a one-off in AAA. But yeah, I mean Tiffany Stratton could definitely pull for sure.
Oh, okay, cool. Because I had to ask, because she got a pretty little moonsault. Will she fit in with that technique? But we'll see. But no, the ones that you mentioned just now, I could definitely see going over there, making magic, making history for sure. So let's go ahead and tap into my first question. So my first question is, what is your earliest memory of watching professional wrestling, and what was the specific moment or wrestler that made you a fan for life?
That's tough because I grew up around this stuff for like the last 26, 27 years. I probably started around 99, 2000 that I can remember. It was probably earlier than that, but from what I can remember, when the brain just like, oh, I'm awake right now, and you're about 6 or 7 years old or whatever age it is, where you just wake up and you're like, I'm living.
Right.
I'd say it's around that time, and it would probably be around, The Rock definitely was a big favorite for me. Obviously, Stone Cold, Chris Jericho, Kane and the Undertaker. I got to grow up in the Attitude Era, so that was nice. Wasn't as like into the storylines back then because I'm just a little kid,
Yeah.
but it definitely was a cool moment to be a part of and live through.
So, you say you grew up in the Attitude Era. So did I. Stone Cold is my goat. So, how did it feel just anytime like Monday Night Raw came on, you saw the Attitude Era, guys come out, do their entrance, spit their water out, Triple H, all that. How did that make you feel?
It was cool. It was like it was a surreal like moment, surreal feeling. It can't be replicated, and I think it stems from at one as a child, right? It's
Yeah.
the newness of anything, and it's just a different product. It just you can't compare because I've grown up with it for so long, watched so much of it, have seen the backstage of it. Um, have opened up my eyes to a different world, and it's still great. I still love it to this day. That's why I'm still a part of it. Um, but yeah, that can never be replicated, and it's
Okay.
because of our innocence, right? It's because of our
Yeah.
innocence and our youth, and that's with anything, right? It's like talking about your first love, right?
Mhm.
That can never be replicated because it was so new, it was fresh, and it is what it is. But it doesn't mean that the next chapter and the next phase is not going to be as good. It still can be.
No, that makes sense. So tell me, where did you grow up? Like what city and state did you grow up in?
I grew up in the
619?
619 in San Diego, California. It's not just because of Rey Mysterio. What's funny is that this actually all stemmed from, I want to say probably middle school, when you had to like come up with some sort of email, and this
Yeah.
is what we came up with. So my dad actually helped me come up with this, and I kind of ran with it. I never used it for anything up until like, what should my name be online? And then this is what I came up with, and I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna run with this. And it's kind of worked for me because there's not too many big creators out there that use numbers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I was like, I want to be different, and let me just throw in my area code from where I'm at, and let's run with it. Let's see what happens. Worst case, I can always change it and be something else. But honestly, my last name is Soto, so why not run with my last name? And I'm from the 619.
That's dope. It's crazy because that's what brings me to my next question is wanting me to ask you what inspired you to launch Soto619 and transition from being a dedicated fan to building a full platform around wrestling and Lucha Libre content creation.
So it actually started with me and a buddy of mine. We just loved wrestling, right? And we were talking about it for so long, like let's make Lucha Mask and let's just be like commentators, and we can have our own podcasts and we can do our own thing, and like we people will never know who we are, and we can have our own personas. And we actually drew and sketched up masks, and I still have those drawings to this day. So who knows? I can always pop up in a mask, and you never know if it's me or not. But yeah, it stemmed from that. And then he was actually at my place when we were watching the return of CM Punk at Survivor Series, and
Oh,
the joy that we both had, I'm sure with so many others, as soon as that moment kicked off, like me and him just jumped from our seats. We weren't recording anything. We were just living in the moment. We were just ecstatic and excited. And yeah, I told him, I was like, dude, like we need to do this. And we didn't do it, and that's fine. Fast forward a few months, takes us to January 1st, 2024, Raw in San Diego. That's when The Rock returned to San Diego, and it was right after they were advertising a former world champion would be on Raw, and then Jinder Mahal ended up showing up, and then The Rock came out. Remember that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I remember that one. Yep.
So that one was in San Diego. The funny thing is that I knew I was going to go to that event, right? We knew me and him were going to like attend. We didn't have tickets. We just knew we were going to go.
Yeah.
We waited till the very last minute. And when I mean last minute, we showed up to the arena and we're like, we're getting in. And we didn't have tickets. As I'm standing on the steps, I find 2 tickets pop up for front row right behind Samantha Irving, the old commentator. I mean, the old
Yes.
ring announcer.
Yes.
And I told him, I was like, bro, like, I know your budget's $100, but these are $200 tickets. I was like, when are we going to get front row for Monday Night Raw? Like, let's do it. And he's like, all right, let's do it. So we jumped on it, $200 ticket, which is not bad considering, what
How it
prices
is
are
right
now.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, we get lucky and get these front row tickets sitting behind Samantha. And I'm just there recording a couple things. And I'm like, I want to do something, but I'm just going to record the moments. Rock comes out, record The Rock, and I posted online. And I think it got almost 2 million views. And I was like, okay, I need to capitalize off of this. I need to do something, because if there was no other sign, this is the sign I'm going to take for me to jump in and actually do my wrestling content. And so I asked him, and he didn't really follow through with it.
Yeah.
Some things came up and he just couldn't do the content with me. So I was like, I'm going to run with it. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to figure it out. And I literally grabbed a tripod. I grabbed my phone. I threw on SmackDown or Raw behind me, whatever one I started first. And I actually just put my phone live on TikTok, and I just started going live on TikTok. And the TV was behind me. It was inverted, so it was backwards. I didn't have no cool signs. I didn't have no cool hats. I think I was just wearing wrestling hats. And I just did little watch-alongs for SmackDown on TikTok when the restrictions weren't so heavy. But yeah, that's how it all started. Long answer, but yeah, that's how it all started.
No, it's dope. Me and you kind of similar a little bit. I actually started January 2025, and it was a watch along I was doing first too. I was doing reactions, I was doing watch along before I was able to fully find my niche. And that's when I was just like, okay. And then I got into the mindset a little bit like, okay, I see everybody's doing it. What can I do that would differentiate myself from like the actual like creator space? So it's funny. So you when you was at that show and you capitalize off of that moment, what was the next steps that it brought you to as far as like your creator world? Did it help you grow more of a following, or did it gain more of the confidence of being able to establish SOTO619?
I think it was a mixture of both. It gave me the confidence because I was like, I'm gonna figure this out, and I'm just gonna start. You know what I mean? Like, you're always gonna have that mindset of let me start, let me go, whether that's the gym or you want to feel good, look good. You're always gonna have that mindset. And to this day, people ask me, how do I start doing what you did? And I'm just like, just start. Just grab you have a phone, right? Just start. Just record and you'll figure it out. That's I had to figure it out, and I'm still figuring it out. I don't know it all. But I know a lot more now than I did 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, just start. The earlier you start, the faster the time's gonna pass anyway. So the faster you're gonna start to learn and improve.
Okay, so there's been a discourse with like creators. I gotta ask your opinion on this as far as starting with content creating. A lot of them feel like maybe they need to get to a certain amount of followers in order to be able to be successful, or they need to have certain relationships with the company. Do you agree with those aspects of starting content creating?
No, because when I started, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any connection with anybody. You know what I mean? I didn't have any ins with any wrestling company. I just started, and I go back through my content, 2.5 years, and I get the cringe, but at the same time, I also feel proud, right? Because I've grown, and I can see that I've grown. And I used to do recaps where I would read the script, and you could see my eyes reading a script, right? And it's not really so flowy, but I posted it anyways. I was literally just my therapist, actually, just like, I'm not joking, an hour ago. And and still looking back at it now, I still feel the cringe, but at the same time, I feel proud, right? Because I
Yeah.
had to go through that. I had to go through it, and I had the courage to just post it, right? Because I could have easily been like, "No, this sucks. Like, I'm not gonna post it." No, I gave myself the benefit of the doubt, and I'm gonna get better. Just like I'm still trying to improve with other projects that I'm working on to try to get better, and I'm gonna post it because all it's gonna do is help me grow and get better, right? I'm my worst
Yeah.
critic.
I am too. Like I look back at some of my okay, I always say this interview that I did which was Bianca Belair, which was my first interview back to journalism, media, all of that. I just had my son and I was so cringe. I was so green. I was like low key, you could tell like I'm crying in my voice because she was one of my favorite wrestlers. So like I just look back when I watched that interview, I'm like, I'm very cringe. Even when I look at Sami Zayn's interview that I did, I could tell that like I was so nervous, but I just look back and I just kind of like make sure that I continue to grow from them aspects, like you stated, to get better. Because I used to be reading at the screen. I still do show prep, but I'm a little bit more efficient now when it comes to
For
it
sure.
because this was what 2023, and I look at that interview clip all the time, even though it's my golden interview because like it was my first interview, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. I came a long way. So I definitely understand. And also it's like we talk about like evolution, like with the women's and also with Triple H, Randy, them. It's always an evolution when it comes to content creator because you can actually see your growth from when you first started until you got now. So I like that aspect.
Yeah, I actually did an interview. One of my like first real big interviews I would consider was with Commander from AEW, and I actually had a one-on-one with him around the start of when I started doing this. And mind you, I'm recording on a cell phone. I got a little light set up, and I'm meeting him out there. I tried to do my best to set it up in like an interview format. I didn't know I could do an interview standing up. You know what I mean? Like I do now.
Yeah.
But I was like, I gotta have 2 chairs, and he's like, is this gonna take long? In my head, I'm all like, I'm just trying to make this nice. I'm all like, no, like 5 minutes, if
Yeah.
and I think we ended up running it for about 10 minutes, which was cool. Like he gave me that much time. But to this day, I've never posted it. And I've only shown a handful of people. For a couple reasons. One, because the majority of it was in Spanish. And so I had to do a lot of translating, and there was a lot of, and two, I don't speak the best Spanish. Like I can get by, and I can, we can make conversation. But I know that my Spanish is broken, and we're mostly gonna be speaking Spanglish. You know what I mean? Which I'm trying to get more comfortable with, and that's another
Mhm.
another project that I'm also working on. Right, I posted a clip yesterday night with me and El Fiscal, who's going to be showing up tonight on Raw against Ray Phoenix,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? There's a small clip of me talking in Spanish. I hardly ever post anything of me in Spanish, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try it, and you know what? It's out there. Once it's out there, it's out there. But I'm gonna try and dabble and get better and improve. Like the only place I really speak Spanish is at work and with my talking to my grandparents. That's it.
Now I feel it. Where are your grandparents from?
Puerto Rico and Mexico.
Gotcha. I'm Puerto Rican. My mom's from Puerto Rico. My dad's from
Nice,
Haiti. Yeah.
very nice. What part of Puerto Rico?
She is from San Juan. Yeah,
Nice.
she's from San Juan, and my dad, he's from Haiti. I don't know exactly what part because he migrated to Brooklyn, literally. And my mom, she spent her first like 5 years in Puerto Rico and then moved to the Bronx. So
Oh
yeah,
dang. So you're
yeah,
mostly from the Bronx. Okay.
yeah.
Have,
So-
have you been to the island though?
Yeah, I have. Actually, me and my husband did our honeymoon there, and I
Nice.
got to see a lot of it. My mom was shocked. She was like, "Oh, you picking to go to Puerto Rico?" So when
You
I
ain't
was
gonna
there,
back.
we didn't want to come back, and I never forget. Like I was showing her the areas, and she said so much has changed and everything
Mhm.
like that. So yeah, it was a beautiful moment. But the reason why I asked is because with you doing content in Spanish, I told you earlier, like that you're differentiating yourself. And a lot of the community is, Hispanics that love wrestling. Like we have, you know, everybody like that's a fan of Penta, Lucha Libre is definitely taken over. And you pretty much of a handful that I've seen like with content creators are like really like getting that story out there on what's going on with Lucha Libre. So that's what kind of is going to bring me to my next question, is wanting me to ask, in the crowded world of wrestling media, how do you balance covering mainstream American promotions like WWE alongside with keeping a strong focus on Lucha Libre?
Damn, I wanted to talk about Puerto Rico more, but that's fine.
Oh no, we gonna talk about Puerto Rico a little more. Don't worry.
How do I balance both? That's a good question, because I obviously have my schedule for Mondays and Fridays are dedicated to just Raw and SmackDown, and I revolve around that content. But I also work with this promotion here in San Diego. It's called Baja Stars USA, and thankfully, through a good friend of mine, him and his family own this promotion, and so he helps me out, and I do a little bit of camera work for them, and then in return, I can go ahead and interview the talent that he brings. So I'm actually allowed a lot more opportunity and a little bit more exposure than I think any regular person might have, I guess, which is kind of nice. So I've got to interview, or at least talk to, sometimes these guys don't want to be interviewed, and that's totally fine. They have that right to say no. They don't owe me anything. But I've got to talk to Ultimo Guerrero from CMLL, Commander I named from AEW, and I've met so many guys from GCW and so many guys from down south that are, do death matches, and now I'm cool with, and I'm just like, man, you guys are so cool, and I wish mainstream knew about you guys. You know what I mean? And you have to go within the niche, right? You have to look for the wrestling. Now you got to look for the deathmatch wrestling. Now you got to look for deathmatch in Mexico wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go deep down the YouTube before you find them. But it's cool. It's cool because I get to also do things with these guys. Like El Hijo de Rey Mysterio is part of a faction called La Familia de Tijuana, and he's in it with Halloween and Bestia 666, which is the son of Damien 666, who just appeared on AAA last week again, just a part of Los Perros del Mal. Anyways, a year ago this month, so 2025 August, I actually got hit in the head with a chair from El Hijo del Rey Mysterio and Halloween, from both of them, which is a cool moment. One, because it wasn't planned. And two, because it was by those two guys, and that's Rey Mysterio's actual cousin, El Hijo de Rey Mysterio. He's the son of the original Rey Mysterio. So yeah, it's just cool. And when I see those guys, I get to talk to them and be like, I just saw him last weekend, and I was like, it's been a year since you guys hit me in the head with the chair, and they're like, already, and I'm like, already, man. It still hurts.
I was gonna ask you how you feel about it. Like, does it give you PTSD?
Give me 1 minute and I'll show you what it looks like.
All right. Listen, you got whoa.
So I still have the chair.
That's so dope.
Yeah, and then they signed it for me too, and we took pictures backstage and all that. Basically, I'll give you a little behind the scenes, but they pulled me aside and they're like, we want you to jump into the ring and act as like security, and we want you to like break them up. And I was like, cool, I can do that. And they're like, okay, cool, but they're just gonna hit you one time, you're gonna fall down, you're gonna roll out the ring. I said, no problem, I can take a bump, roll out the ring, I got it, I can't mess this up. I jump in the ring, I slide in, whatever, roll in, and I try to break them up. They kind of stop, and then there's a chair that comes my way. I didn't even know. I turn around, this chair comes flying on my head, hits me. I didn't know because it wasn't planned. So the first shot, I don't have my hands up, and it just hits me, and I fall down for real. And then I show that video to people, and they're like, you did great on that fall down. I was like, I didn't pretend. I didn't know it was coming to my head. And so I fell down for real, and that hurt. And then I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to roll out. So I tried rolling out, and they stopped me, and they picked me up. And as they're picking me up, it tears my shirt. And I'm like, oh, damn. And so then they hit me again with the second swing. And that's when I'm like, all right, well, I'm putting my hands up this time because that first one hurt. I take that second one, and I think my hat flew off or something, and they threw my hat in the crowd, which is this one right here.
Right.
But yeah, still a cool moment.
You got a video of that? Because
I'll send it to you.
Please.
Yeah, it's on all my socials, and I post it every now and again. So yeah, it's definitely out there. I
gotta watch that. I might have to include it in this video because, like,
sure.
that's definitely a memory. So, you said, when did this happen again? When did it?
August 2025.
Oh God,
last year, 12 months ago. Yeah.
What it was in San Diego or what
Yeah.
state? Whoa,
Yeah.
dog! I gotta see that. I gotta see that. Oh my gosh! So you basically, technically, almost got beat up.
Yeah. I was at this event right here.
Oh wow, that's so dope.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the mask. It remind me of the black and white mask. It remind me of Karate Kid with with Cobra, the Cobra guys.
Are you
Yeah.
talking about this one?
Yes, that one. It
That's
don't
face
remind
paint.
you. It's face paint.
Yeah.
You remember
That's the
you
exact
seen
same. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. Yeah. I've
exactly
seen.
okay.
Mhm.
Cause that remind me of when they were beating up Danny on the
Mhm.
bike. Yeah. So my next question, I just want to ask: if you had to pick your ultimate favorites, who is your favorite wrestler from the past, and who is your favorite active wrestler in ring today?
I feel like it's an obvious one, but it's Rey Mysterio from the past
Hmm.
and Dominic Mysterio for the future.
Who the better Mysterio?
Who the better one?
You told me on the phone. You told
I
me on the phone.
I I gotta go with Dom. I
There
gotta
we
go
go.
with Dom. Dom is the AAA Mega Champion and has held it for now. We're about to hit a year now with that AAA Mega Championship.
Yeah.
And even though his dad is general manager, Ray still hasn't held that title yet.
I was so mad at WrestleMania last year when he had to get pulled out of that match. So that's why I was just wondering. Yeah, he got pulled out of the
Oh,
Intercontinental match because he had got an injury. And that's when they announced AAA was going to happen and they
okay.
was buying it.
He was wrestling Chad Gable
Yeah.
or El Grande Americano. He was wrestling El Grande Americano. Or was it Chad Gable? It was a one-on-one match. And then
Yeah.
Ray Phoenix replaced Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, that's what
Mhm.
happened.
Mhm.
Okay. So how do you feel about, because I saw your live when you were saying Dominic is so much better in AAA. Okay. Tell me, why do you feel like we know the obvious that he is better in AAA. I could agree with that too. What do you think he needs to work on as far as in WWE, like the main roster versus AAA, considering all the reports are reporting that he's not happy with what he's going on right now in WWE?
I don't think it's anything that he's doing. I think it's just the way that he's booked. I honestly feel like in AAA, stars are given a little bit more creative freedom and a little
Mhm.
bit more of like let's just be you. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you, right? Whereas I feel like on Raw and SmackDown, they're a little bit more strict, right?
Yeah.
I versus AAA. And I think that's why Bailey was over there. And when I would watch Bailey's matches, Bailey's promos, she seemed like she was having more fun, you know, and you
Mhm.
could just see it in her. Like she's just running around, dancing around, you know, jumping around with the girls. And I'm like, yeah, like this is a cool Bailey. This is a fun Bailey, you know, and she's cool and all on Raw and SmackDown, but you could just feel the difference. And it's the exact same thing
Yeah.
with Dom. Like Dom just carries himself differently, and it's because of the way that they portray him, and I think he has more confidence over there. The crowd definitely has a big change in the atmosphere too, right? He's received way differently in AAA than he is on Raw.
He's so over in AAA. It's not even funny. Like every time I look at the clips and I watch AAA, I'm like, wow, like
Yeah.
that that recent promo that he did with what's her name? The Kaiser's
Andrea?
girlfriend. Yeah, Andrea. That was like, I felt like I was watching like a mafia movie when he was just in there just talking to her, and then you see Liv pop up, and I'm just like, what? She was like, what are you doing? And then just the look on her face, I was like, she needs to be involved just a little bit more, like another,
Yeah,
like more like Kathy. She's like the Kathy Kelly of AAA, from what I gather, and
for sure.
I just definitely see her involved in a lot more, because like that moment that she was just like looking at Liv, giving a stare off, that was a lot of charisma. I said, okay, yeah, the aura was just there. But yeah, I like her a lot. And I just like the path that how AAA is going. Do you like the fact that the Undertaker is over creative? Do you feel like he's meeting the standard of what Lucha Libre should be?
Yeah, I think it's more of a shared thing between Taker and Jeremy Borash, because they both share that role. If anything, um, I would say he has the right people around him to
Yeah.
definitely make those decisions. You know what I mean? Like I know some of the producers in AAA, I don't want to name any of them because I don't know if they are even named themselves, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. But they definitely put in their 2 cents, and they're definitely, I guess, more heard in AAA than I would say the main roster is. You know what I mean? And I think it's because Taker's just willing to take in more of the ideas and willing to learn all of what Lucha Libre has to offer, right? He, just like with anybody, he don't know all the history, but I'm sure someone there is like, hey, you should do this and this because of this person and this person. They don't get along, and they've been feuding for the last so many months or years, and I'm sure he takes it into consideration and he goes, yeah, I can make something from this.
Yeah.
So I think he's got the right people, and he's just there at the right time, right? Because eventually, just like with anything, the stories are going to start running dry. It's just because, like I said at the beginning of this interview, it's fresh, right? It's that first love. It's that new thing, right? It's that shiny toy, whatever you want to call it. AAA is that fresh, shiny new toy, and we're all interested because a lot of these characters are new to us, right? We've got, I don't know, 50 new characters now that we get to go through and learn about, and now starting to see them pop up on NXT and SmackDown and Raw tonight. So yeah, it just makes it more fun.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to watch. I love Mr. Iguana. By the way, I wanted to tell you that. Oh wait. Oh,
that was number 1. There goes my hat.
There goes your.
There goes my shirt. There goes number 2. That one hurt a lot. And there goes my shirt. That's just another point of view. The exact same thing.
Ooh, Soto, you got beat up.
And that's Rey Mysterio's cousin. Yeah.
You got beat up.
Yeah. But it was fun.
It was
memories
I would be a fly.
that will last a lifetime. I honestly had a golf ball size knot on like right here.
Yeah.
And then I think my pinky was like crooked for a couple days. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go back and
cool.
rewatch that. That was definitely dope. I've never seen nobody like do that. Like
Yeah.
creator wise, yeah. That was dope.
Yeah. Thank you. I like I said, it wasn't planned. I was just supposed to take one hit to the head, meaning just a punch, fall down, roll out the ring. Actually, my buddy jumped in the ring with me. He takes a hit and falls down and rolls out the ring. You can see him do it perfectly fine. I don't know why they chose me, of all people, to take the damn chair shot, not once, but twice. But it happened. So it is what it is.
That definitely was a shoot.
It was a cool moment. Definitely a cool moment.
Definitely was. All right. So I want to switch a little bit of gears. I want to talk about how you had the chance to conduct exclusive interviews with talents across the industry. You recently had a sit down with Mini Vikingo. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which interviews have been your personal favorite so far, and what made those conversations stand out to you?
I have so many, and so many that I haven't posted yet. I've probably got like another 4 or 5 that I haven't even posted that are just sitting waiting to be posted.
So you do that too. You do that too.
I don't like to post everything all at once. You know what I mean? I like to post one, maybe once a week. Keep content a little fresh.
Yeah.
And obviously whatever's up to date, post it. Like El Fiscal going on Raw. That's why I posted about him last night.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have like an ultimate favorite because I feel like I connect with these guys even off camera. So like as a person, like I'm connected well with Mecha Wolf. I'm connected well with Mini Vikingo. I'm connected well with Laredo Kid. You know what I mean? Like these people I can like hit up and chat with. And they'll, respond to my messages, and like that's a cool feeling, right? Because like because now it's not just the interview, right? It's not a one and done. It's like, hey, we connected well, like we're cool, and we can plan something up for the future. Like Mini Vikingo was actually the second time I interviewed him. And when he lost his Instagram account, I hit him up and I was like, bro, what happened? And he was like, I lost my Instagram and I'm trying to get it back. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. And I was like, well, like what can I do? And there wasn't, he was already getting stuff worked out. So at least I was there offering my help and seeing what I could do. But yeah, at the end of the day, he got it, and we still got his second account up and going, and I got at least chat with them there. So it was just cool. It's cool to have those connections at the end of the day. It's cool having these shared experiences.
Yeah.
And I never tell like who I went with or what I did. Not necessarily who. I'll say what I did, but I never who I went with. Like, it's cool going with some of these wrestlers after a show and going to like In-N-Out or go eat tacos and like not have the cameras rolling and just talk to them about wrestling, about life, and just having those experiences. And I think that's what makes it cool, because at the end of the day, I'm a fan, right? And also I'm a person. And I just want to learn about you, because we have this same shared interest of lucha libre, of wrestling, right? And so I think if I were to like just zone in on the content, like I'd have crazy content, crazy stories. You'd see me vlogging at a freaking taco shop, eating with this many wrestlers and this referee or whatever. But I don't, because I want to have those shared moments just for me. And now I have all those stories just for me. And I think that's what keeps me going, right? Because not everything has to be content.
I ran into a similar situation after SummerSlam. So it's funny you say that. Like, I'm big on building relationships. It's a lot of like wrestlers that I have not recorded, like, one-on-ones with, sit downs with, because I genuinely am just building the relationship organically. The SummerSlam, on our way back home, Charles Robinson is my favorite. I mean, my favorite referee.
Yeah,
I love him down. My husband hears it all the time when I say, "Oh my God, Charles Robinson, he's so handsome. I love him so much." All the way back from WCW days. And he's in this area that we live in too. And it's crazy. Yeah. And it's crazy because like a lot of people that I know that are wrestling fans run into him all the time. And I have never ran into him. Right.
You will.
Yeah. It's funny. So listen, I had seen him at SmackDown, of course, and he would wave and speak and everything like that, but never got to have that like little moment in encounter with him. So we had a 6:00 flight from Minnesota, and me and my husband got there like 4 in the morning. It was like, those flights, 4 in the morning, and I'm just like, my husband was like, "I gotta go to the bathroom." I'm just sitting, just like, come on, I'm tired. And then the next thing you know, here goes my husband. He was like, "Sylvia." I was like, "What? Guess what?" He comes with Charles Robinson. I just bust out crying.
That's funny.
And yes, I just bust out crying, and I'm just like holding my face. And then, I didn't go up to him and like bombard him and rush him, because I'm proud on professionalism, because they're still people, they're still humans at the same time. So he was like, no, come here. I was like, hi, I know you're on your way home. I love you so much. And it was just insane how that moment happened. And then I didn't record it. I didn't put nothing up or anything like that. He went and grabbed his picture and signed it in front of me.
Oh,
he was like,
nice.
"This is for you." Yes. And then like, he was like, "Come on, let's take a picture." And I didn't really post that picture like that. I just kept it to myself, because that was a memory for myself. And it was crazy because like the people that were in the airport that was sharing the flight was just like, just clapping, was just like,
That's
"Oh,
cool."
yeah." So that's why I was just like, oh my gosh, like, and I relate to you so much how you are when it comes to the stars, getting tacos with them, eating, and just having a personal level, and don't have to pull out the phone, because that's one thing I think a lot of creators or anybody in media need to understand, that they are humans first, but you want to build that organic relationship, because sometimes they just want their flowers given, but they also want to be human at the same time. So I really like that you are able to connect with them on that level too. I respect that a lot.
Thanks. Yeah. Actually, not looking back, I think Santos Escobar was one of my favorites, and that just happened last month. Now he's Romeo Malverde. I think that's his new character name. And it was cool because I got that interview, and that was his first interview in the indies since leaving WWE. And I think that was a cool moment. We did something real cool. We did something quick. I posted it. He accepted the collab, so it's on his page too. And then the next day I saw him again, and I I didn't record him again. I didn't, you know what I mean? I just went up to him and I talked to him. I was like, dude, like, thank you. He's like, our interview did good, huh? And I was like, yeah, I did. And we were just talking about it. And then I started asking him some questions and we started talking about Lucha Libre. And then I was like, bro, I was like, there's no cameras rolling. I was like, there's nothing. I was like, come on, like, tell me, like, I'm not gonna post about it. Like,
right.
if you know me, I don't post about stuff on like Twitter or anything like that. Like, I
Yeah, I
make my
see that.
videos and
Yeah.
like that's it. So,
and I think that's great because you very professional when it comes to that. I don't see you active crazy on Twitter. I don't see you like in the comments like what I see some other creators do. And there's no shade to them, do your thing. But I do respect that a lot about you because again, when we got introduced, I was watching you too. Like I was like a fan of your stuff and like I was showing you
thanks.
love when you showed me the CVV moment with Chelsea Green and everything
Yeah,
like
that was
that.
cool.
Yeah, that was dope. That was really, really dope. I've been wanting to attend one of his events like that for a while. So like I'm a little jealous of you that you got
Y-
to attend one of his
I got
stand-ups.
I got lucky because they were sold out, and it was a Survivor Series weekend, and I just had someone that I knew in the wrestling scene, and he was like, "Hey, bro, like, I know it's last minute, but I got an extra ticket if you want it." And I was like, "Oh, sure, let's go." So I went, and yeah, it was cool.
It was very packed. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it was great.
And
Like I said, it was sold out, so it was a
the way
packed
they
comedy
said your
house.
name, the way they said your name, she said SOTO619. Chelsea. I was like, yeah. I was like, I
Yeah.
like that.
The fact that as soon as she saw like, "Oh, I saw you on Twitter," I was like, I know you didn't see me on Twitter because I'm not really on that one. I was like, but yeah,
Yeah.
you see me on TikTok, Instagram, I'm all over the place.
Twitter's for the crazy folks like myself. Sometimes I be on Twitter. I don't be putting wrestling stuff on Twitter. I just capitalize off of Twitter for my one-on-ones, and I just be putting little small stuff like, okay, do you like warm coffee or iced coffee? Do you like Chucky or do you like Ghostface? Which one? Like that's how this or that I am on there. But as far as being egregious when it comes to Twitter, yeah, you can't catch me doing that at all.
Yeah, I'm trying to dabble in it. I'm trying to see if maybe it'll give some life to other platforms, but so far, not so much. But I don't know.
They
Maybe
want
when
you to be
it's not.
crazy. They want you to be
Yeah,
crazy on
I
there. I'm
guess
not do that.
I keep it professional. I try to keep it. I'm already doing a lot of work, so I'm just gonna keep it in sync. And whatever you see on my Instagram, you're gonna see on my Twitter for the most part.
Yeah.
Until I figure out something else to do with it. But
No, I feel it because Twitter is insane. But I will say, by me engaging on Twitter like that, doing like this or that, stuff like that, I do get some positive like engagement. I'm gonna keep it that way. I can't go crazy on Twitter like, oh, uh, Jay Uso cannot wrestle. I can't do that. Or who's a better lucha? Like I just personally can't do that at all. But yeah, I would say continue capitalizing off of Twitter, especially like with your videos, because
yeah,
it's been working a little bit. But
thanks.
I want
Yeah,
to, yeah,
real quick
well,
before you move on.
yeah,
I'm still hoping, just like you wanted to meet Charles, I'm still hoping to try to run into Chelsea Green, because she recognized me from online. So, I have yet to have an actual conversation with her, even if it
yeah.
wasn't on camera. I just want to have the chance to at least talk to her one time.
Chelsea was on the channel. Me and my leader of my podcast got to interview her.
Nice.
And by far, when I say I'm gonna send you it too, and you just let me know what you thought about it. By far, the most sweet, genuine person ever. Chelsea Green was well deserved for getting that title. And I know there's a lot of
Absolutely.
people, yeah. I know there's a lot of people that doubted her that feel like she didn't need it because of her character. But I think people also, because a lot of people feel like they're not going to take her serious, but I feel like people need to kind of take it back a little bit to her match with Penta, also her time in TNA, and then not to mention really where she started from, being in the business. And she said that she was like, being in the business, I'm going on 13 years, and I just really want to prove to women's wrestling history that, you can make it, just keep going, don't stop, because she got let go, then came back, so she was a time, like she was fun to watch. And you're not the first person that a creator that I did a one-on-one with that loved Chelsea too. Radio Big Mac, shout out to him. When I did his one-on-one, he said the same thing. You saw that video of him saying Chelsea Green needs to be the champion, and we called it on that
Yeah.
one-on-one, which is crazy. I think that would happen
Yeah.
because she spent a lot of time in, which I did love her in AAA. I did love her and Ethan Page, a little dynamic together. I thought that was super dope. Yeah, I think that would happen. I could definitely see that happening for you.
I'm hoping she returns to AAA. Not right now because she's women's champion, but I hope she
Yeah.
returns. But with Matt Cardona, and that way they can be, going after those mixed tag team titles. I want the same thing for CM Punk and AJ Lee because I just want to see AJ Lee back, and I want to see them in AAA. Anything to get more eyes on AAA and Lucha Libre as a whole. I'd want to see that.
Definitely. I gotta ask you this: did you like when Natty spent some time in AAA?
Yeah, absolutely.
I love her so much.
Yeah, her character is so different. Like I said, they have I know they have more freedom, more creative freedom, and like her character in AAA is what she should be portrayed as on Raw. You know what I mean? Like a mean mug and natty. Like that's what we need on Raw.
I like the low-key legend. I don't know why. I don't know what creative is thinking of not wanting to capitalize off of that. That's something on them. But low-key legend is like really badass, I think. And I got her book. I met her personally too as well.
Nice.
And just a lot of the things that she said in her book, I love the fact that she's proven the company wrong every time. It's still going and not letting nothing stop her at all. And yeah, I just got to salute her on that. But I know I had you on for a little minute. I just want to dabble in and get something a little bit more deeper about Lucha Libre because we got the tournament coming up. Now, with Lucha Libre, AAA, it has been generating like a massive buzz. We all know that, and momentum. From your perspective as a creator, what elements are driving AAA current success and keeping fans locked in?
Yeah, it's what I said earlier. It's the shiny new toy. It's the new love, the new thing around the block. We got 50 plus new characters that we get to work with and see on a weekly basis and learn about and grow with and pop up on the main roster. I think the freedom that they have is allowing them to grow at a fast pace. I think if Raw and SmackDown had a little bit more freedom, they might have a little bit better ratings or better viewership or maybe more interesting storylines. But obviously I don't know what's all happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But that's what it seems like. It seems like it's a little uptight on the main roster. And they just need to loosen up a little bit, you know what I mean? Like and make it a little bit more fun.
I call it handcuffed. Like it's a lot of handcuff going on. Yeah. But no.
Well, I feel like that's the same thing with NXT though. I feel like NXT has a little bit more of a little bit more loose, you know what I mean? Like they're not so uptight. The one thing that I wish would happen, I wish that it would be seamless though. You know what I mean? Like I'm tired of seeing, we talked about Dom. I'm tired of seeing characters not portrayed the same throughout whatever brand they're on, right? The exact same thing happened with El Grande Americano story, where on Raw we would see both El Grande Americanos, but they could touch each other on Raw, and they're like, oh, well, the no touch clause is only in Mexico. So it's like, well, you're trying to build up this big match, you know what I mean? And it's already a big match as it is. It's mask versus mask. And you say they can't touch each other in Mexico, but they can touch each other on Raw. And so I think 2 or 3 weeks in a row, we had El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano in like a 6-man tag team match.
Yep.
And I'm just like it doesn't feel, it just feels like a whatever match. And yeah, it was, but yeah, I just wish it was across the board. Like imagine the tension that they would have had on a Raw, like, oh, you can't touch me here either. Like, and just carry that. It honestly felt like 2 different universes because on Raw, we had the original El Grande Americano, who was Chad Gable, be a babyface, right? But in Mexico, he's a heel. And then in vice versa, it'd be the exact same thing with the other El Grande Americano. And I'm like, that's cool and all, but let's keep it like the same across the board.
I agree.
That
is confusing a little bit. That definitely is confusing the watchers of that.
I think it's more so your casual fans, right? Your casual people who aren't watching AAA. There's not a lot of people who are watching AAA that are WWE, Raw, and SmackDown guys. Because, I'll say it, I don't watch NXT. And that's because I'm busy on Tuesdays. I'm sure a lot of people are busy on Saturdays. But AAA, I feel, is a lot easier to watch than NXT. One, because it's only an hour long. You fast forward through that, you're probably in the episode in and out within 30 to 40 minutes.
Yep.
2, it's on YouTube for us here in the United States, and we get to watch it for free. You know what I mean? NXT is not as easily accessible, and it's also longer. So, yeah, I don't know.
You can't go back and watch NXT either. Like, you know how you can go back to YouTube and watch AAA? You can't do that with NXT because it's on the CW. And I think that, like you said, with AAA being so accessible for casual friends, lifelong fans to be able to watch and like really like invest into the product. So I like that for
I
sure.
think I think for now it's a great place to have it. Eventually, I'm sure it'll reach a CW, a Netflix or something. You know what I mean? And I feel like
Yeah.
that's when things will change, and that's when things will get a little bit more different and a little bit probably more mainstream. To be honest, like they got to give up one thing for another. It'll probably turn into more mainstream, but it'll probably lose its feeling. You know what I mean? Like that feeling that we get
Mhm.
right now because of the newness, and that's I feel like it'll eventually get lost through time, and when we start to have different networks take over.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to lose the momentum if they decide to go to like a different network. If that was to ever be the case, what network do you see it being a better fit for?
I love it on YouTube.
I don't want to
I
go nowhere
never I
either.
never want to go anywhere else. I think it's perfect on YouTube.
I think
It's
so too.
perfect. Like
Don't bring it to Tubi like Evolve.
yeah,
Nah, don't do that.
it's perfect. Like you want to capitalize on every single area. You have somebody on Netflix. You have someone on the USA Network. You have someone on the CW. Like leave it
Yeah,
on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like I think what was it? It was Speed. I think Speed was oh no, that was Twitter. Speed was a Twitter only. Yeah. Speed was only on Twitter. It's, what, 3 minutes?
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
and then they took it off Twitter and now they're just running it on NXT now. But yeah, leave it on YouTube. But if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Netflix.
Okay, I can see that. I definitely don't want to go on to ESPN. I really don't like how the collaboration going on with ESPN
Yeah.
when it comes to the main PLEs. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Now, the biggest thing which is happening tonight, with the tournament in Lucha Libre building up to a massive match against the Roman Reigns in Mexico City, who do you personally believe deserves to win the tournament and face Roman?
Did you watch AAA this past weekend?
I did not. I'm gonna be honest
Did
with
not.
you. I did
Okay.
not. Yeah, I did not, but
Well,
I want it this week to catch up on it. Yeah.
so there's only 4 matches that have been announced for the tournament, right? So 8 superstars have a chance to go after Roman Reigns. So
Yes.
far we have 2 eliminations. I think we're down to Penta versus La Parca. Sorry, I just spoiled it for you. La Parca.
Thank you.
And
No,
then
tell me.
the next 2 matches are happening tonight on Raw. Obviously, El Fiscal versus Ray Phoenix, and then we have El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Dragon Lee. Um, 2 great matches that we're gonna see tonight, which I'm excited for. Um, Honestly, on AAA, Penta cut a promo calling out Roman Reigns, and
Mm.
he said that he would win the whole thing and face him in Mexico City. And then Los Perros del Mal showed up this past weekend and said, "Well, you kind of need family behind you, and you were once one of us, part of Los Perros del Mal. We can still be there for you, and help take down Roman Reigns and his family." We're kind of left on a cliffhanger. Again, spoiler alert, because we don't know what's going to happen with Penta and Los Perros del
Yeah.
Mal. But to answer your question, I think Penta's going to win it, and I don't think
Me
he's going to
too.
win. I don't think he's going to win the title.
Okay. So it was a little bit discourse that I was talking with a girlfriend of mine. She loves AAA too, by the way, and she can't wait for this one-on-one to drop between me and you, by the way. So just
Nice.
throwing that out there. Okay. She asked me this question. She said, who do you think is taking it? I said Penta. I said, if anybody, I believe Penta definitely deserves the opportunity to go against the face of the company for sure. He's been putting in the work. He's been a workhorse, and he's just amazing. She was like, don't you think they might need a slow down for Roman? I said, you know what? Not necessarily, because that's what the whole story is going to be, is that Roman can't keep up with the Lucha Libre style. And I was telling her that is what's going to be like the fun part about it, because she was just basically saying, do you think Penta will slow down and like try to match, Roman style? I said no. I said I think they're going to go full throttle, and then we already know like Roman is definitely in charge of who he's going to go against when it comes to that tournament. We all know that. And with him probably being the one handpicking the talent, he's not going to tell somebody to meet to his criteria to not show like their potential on what they could do to give a 5-star match. So I told her, I said, no, that's actually going to be the beauty of it, is that, we get to see Roman outside of his comfort zone.
Yeah.
And then we get to see somebody from AAA go against the face of the company. So that's a great opportunity all around. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you for sure. I almost wish that Penta, Dragon Lee, and Ray Phoenix were not a part of the tournament. I almost wish that it was only AAA guys that are only doing AAA,
Yeah.
not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Not
I wish,
already established in
yeah,
the main roster.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But I mean, I understand. Like, you're still showcasing AAA, and that's the whole point of the tournament, is to showcase AAA and get more people and get more eyes on the product, which is totally great and smart. But yeah, it's gonna be Penta. It's in Mexico City. Fun part is I'm actually gonna be in Mexico City that weekend because I'm going to Triple Mania Night 2 in Mexico City, and I'm hoping to go to Raw. Still haven't got my tickets yet, but we'll see what happens. Because I feel like that's gonna be a cool match. My prediction, I'm gonna give you an early prediction. If it plays out, because we're in Mexico City, we could see some involvement happen. And I honestly think that if anybody gets involved during the Penta and Roman match, if it happens, I think Los Perros del Mal would probably end up costing Penta and going after him, and then having Roman Reigns win. I could be wrong, but that's my early prediction. We're what, a
I
month out?
love it.
Yeah.
Yes. I love it. You know, I was going to I'm glad you plugged that in because, you know, I was going to ask you about that. You know, you going to Triple Mania. So, like, yeah, I'm glad. I know I had you on here for a minute. So I finally
Okay.
just need to ask because I know the tournament is about to start. I really enjoyed my time with you, Soto, by the
Thank
way.
you,
And
Sylvia.
this has been a collaboration I've been wanting for a minute since we first met through Lewis. Just tell me real quick, long-term goals for SOTO619 brand.
Long-term goals. Have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Have so many. I wanna referee a match or 2 or 3 or a dozen. I don't know. I want to referee at some point. That's definitely a goal. I want to go do content in English for AAA and Lucha Libre. Like, I'm already doing it, but I want to be there more of like an exclusive thing and like be a part of the company in some type of way, or some sort of collaboration. Like, I just, yeah, I have so many. There's too many. At the end of the day, I just want to make friends and connections and have these cool experiences that when I'm, 67 years old, I get to
Yeah.
reflect on and get to say all the cool things that I did and not just sit behind the computer screen watching wrestling, right? I want to be a part of this in some type of capacity. So I'm glad I got hit in the head with the chair. I'm glad that
Yes.
I've pulled wrestlers apart. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad I get to have these experiences because even though they hurt and they hurt a lot, it's just cool stories to tell.
Mm-hmm. I feel like all that would happen for you. Like I said, I've been watching you and I feel like you are by far one of the creators that really put in the hard work, very professional, and you're in your own lane. And that's why I have to give you your flowers and let you know
Thank you.
that, all of that is definitely going to come for you for sure. And I think probably even more, but yeah, I think you're awesome, and I'm glad that you came on. And when do you leave out for before I let you go and you drop your socials? When do you leave out for Triple Mania again?
That weekend, so around the September 12th ish, around
Mm-hmm.
there. Yeah, I'll be there for about a week.
Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
listen, I will be stalking your page, looking at the exclusive. And listen, I'm probably gonna be a little aggravated. Talking about, how's it going?
That's
Be
okay.
excited
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you. Okay.
Yeah, I've already tried linking up with a couple of wrestlers, so hopefully those all happen, and hopefully we get some content out there, not just the show itself, but hopefully even if I go eat tacos with them.
Which you will. And let me tell you something. As soon as you eat tacos with them, make sure be like, hey, Sylvia, I'm eating tacos with such and such. I promise you, I will not drop the load. I will not drop the exclusive. I'll keep it to myself. You know what I'm saying?
All right, we'll see what I can
Yeah.
do.
But
Yeah,
awesome. Soto, thank you so much for coming on. You're
thank
just so dope.
I
And
appreciate
yeah,
it.
it's been a pleasure. And I just need
Absolutely.
you to drop your socials where everybody can
Yeah.
find you at.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, thank you, Sylvia, once again for having me. I go by SOTO619. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the other platforms, YouTube, SOTO619 or SOTO619 Wrestling. Just look up SOTO619. It's pretty easy to find me. Yeah, I'm the only one.
Awesome. Thank you so much again for coming on 101 with Sylvia the Siren.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a lot of fun. Thank you.
Sylvia sound the siren. Get it pumped like Big Papa. Break them off proper. Thugonomics, no doctor. Y'all don't put in work, but you talk enough, and the talk is tough. Who your favorite part? We'll chalk it up. Spit an apple in your face like Carlito, the cannon on. I get to twitching like Braun Breaker, the damage on. I can let the trigger go off and trade at your boss, and then you dropping down the card, the price of a loss. You shut it down early, blessing. I'm more Monday Night Raw attrition. I go to 11. My thoughts are sinister. Go run to the minister. You ain't getting the push, better go get your gimmick up. I black out like the Ministry of Darkness. Cartridge hit your cartilage, you jonesing around until a steel chair hit your chest. You should be weird, cause I'm nice with the tables like Carolina X. It's lovely like Laveau, that if you ain't Beyond the Bell podcast, you gots to go, yeah. Beyond the Bell podcast, like, comment, subscribe, stop playing, and hit that notification bell. Cheat.